I'm waiting for it to launch. Okay, podcast is ready in three, two, one. Welcome, one and all, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gamers at Large podcast. Here we are here with episode 13. Man, has it been that many? We're going to sit up here and start our introductions all the way over here, going from my left to my right. Let's start off with Chrono. Chrono, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. This is my first time being on this podcast. I actually tried to get on a couple other times, but that kind of fell through. I recently started this YouTube channel, you know what I'm saying? It's not really that big, but, I'm trying to get out there, so that's basically it for me.
Well, you're doing your thing, man. Trust me, you're doing your thing. And up next, we got another one over here, another Ninty fan. We got a Ninty fan up in here. Gilligan, what's up, man? How you doing?
That's Cranky Kong to you.
So what's up, Cranky?
Yeah, what's up, guys? It's me, Gil.
Okay, he's
I was
feeling
just
shot
letting you know. Well, I was just letting you know that, I'm not cranky. I'm actually happy.
Alrighty.
So, I hope you guys are not cranky.
Nah, man, never that, never that.
No.
All right. Up next, we got ourselves a return, ladies and gentlemen, a return to the podcast. We took a brief hiatus from us for a little bit. It's our boy Gamin878, aka GNTech TV. What's up, man?
What's up, people? Yeah, I'm back. I'm back for good. Anyway, hello. How are you from GNTech TV crew and everything?
Oh, the Angry Bird's not going to say hi?
That Pikachu seems that it wants to steal something.
All right, up next we got our boy, Mr. Butterworthy. What's up, Mr. Butterworthy?
Hey, what's up, guys? Jamie Butterworth doing the podcast thing after I just uploaded another video in the middle of cooking dinner, so hey.
Okay, and hey, look who shows up, Nintendo. We're going to get to him in a minute. Okay, up here we got the next intro over here, Jay. Jay, what's up, man?
What's up, everybody? Hope y'all having a nice evening. After last night, I really don't have anything to say.
Tra-la-la-la-la.
Yes. After last night, after watching Joel McHale, Jeff Keighley, and Latrell Sprewheels.
We really need the neuralizer to erase that day.
Keighley definitely needed a leather jacket.
Yeah. So I hope y'all have fun tonight. We got a good episode for you.
Alrighty. Up next we got Kaiser. Que lo que hay? What's up, Kaiser? How you doing, man?
All good, Quan. Here, joining in the podcast. I was absent last week because I was playing the new Super Mario World 3D World.
Okay. And then up next we got our boy Rashidi. Rashidi, what's the dilly, man?
What's up? You know me? What do you say? What's going on?
Oh,
back.
There.
Can you hear me?
That mic, though.
Yeah, you gotta fix it.
I'll have to do the new
Mike
thing.
and something else, Rashidi.
Alright, I'll be back.
Basically,
Alright.
I'm sorry, I got an idea. I think
Hell, when he
his
said
intro
I'll
should
be back, that sounded the best it's ever sounded, to be honest with you. He did something.
I think his intro should be mic check 1 2 1 2.
That's okay though. That's okay. I got your back, Rashidi.
1 2
Leroy,
1 2.
I got your back, Rashidi. Don't worry. They ain't gonna let them mess with you, bro. We military guys gotta stick together.
Alright.
Alright, up next we got Shadow Fox. Shadow Fox, what's the dilly, man?
Not much, still being the Rogue Ninja, K9 Descent, Shadow Fox Prime, Shadow Fox Infinite, exposing lanes, but it's all about the game.
There you go. Dude, that
Yes.
was smooth as Jeff right there. I gotta give you credit, man. Alright, up next we got the smoothest cat over here on the block, Nintendo, the Zen Gamer.
What's up, people? And I'm pissed as hell right now.
You're cranky.
Yeah, I'm cranky. The reason why I'm late is, ladies and gentlemen, do not ever try to put up furniture that comes in a goddamn box. Never. Do not do it.
Oh, Lord.
But anyway, here I am, ready for another Gamers at Large. Let's do this thing. Let's hope it improves my mood.
Okay,
All
oh, come
right.
on. You know us. We're going to improve the
Let's-
mood one way or another.
Yeah.
And we got a full
Improve
house
your
tonight.
zen.
We got a full house tonight, so let's just do this thing. All right, up first, we're going to sit up here and see who wants to put their hand up for the first topic for the night.
I can. I'll put my hand up right now.
Do what you got to do, bro.
Has anybody witnessed the latest Annoyed Gamer video?
I think I've heard about the video link, but I didn't bother to watch it.
I just happened to stumble across it because I haven't watched this video in a very long time. But Marcus Beer basically hated himself. But he went across his video with a very long rant about why he hates, quote-unquote, next gen. PS4 is broke. Xbox One is broke. There are no compelling games. Downloads that take forever to get these systems set up. And he literally said the only next gen game worth playing right now, and he held up a copy of Super Mario 3D World.
Oh,
with the angriest look on his face ever.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
that is awesome.
That's basically what's been flying around the internet ever since the launch of the PS4 and Xbox One. I was actually at my friend's house last night playing the PlayStation 4, and I was actually surprised at how quickly I was bored.
Does anybody know what this means? I don't know if any of you have been paying attention to this guy, but he is not necessarily fond of Nintendo.
Uh-oh, here we go.
So for him to come out and say something like that, I mean, we've already been seeing it from a couple of articles here and there, and it pretty much, speaks for itself. 10s here, 10s there, blah, blah, blah. A couple of launch games come out for Xbox One and PS4, and they're getting like 5s and crap like that. I mean, it goes without saying, but when you have, like, obviously one of the most jaded Nintendo players out there, like, I mean, the only Nintendo games he likes are the old ones from back in the day. And he says that the best thing for him to play over the holidays is a Wii U and a bootleg Sega Genesis. The I forget the name of that thing. It's basically a small little PCB that plays Genesis carts, and it has a bunch of ROMs already on it.
Yeah.
Well, has any of you played Resogun?
No, I haven't had the opportunity to try it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
and
well,
I like it, but
well,
that's the only thing that's worth playing right now.
Doesn't it remind you of Geometry Wars?
Literally, yes.
Like, cause that's like when I was playing it the whole time, I was just like, dude, this is like, it feels like Geometry Wars, except I can't move, I can't shoot up and down, like omnidirectional or anything like that. And I have to rescue humans and stuff, so I was just like, all right. But it was cool, but it just reminded me too much of Geometry Wars.
I'm gonna be real honest here. I think that the only two next-gen systems worth owning is Xbox One and the Wii U. PlayStation 4, I've tested it out a couple of different times. I'm not enthused with it. I mean, it's a gaming machine, but you know what? That's all it does is game. For me, Xbox One offers more because it has the Kinect, which I loved what they did with the Kinect. It offers a lot more because, the way it does the snap feature, it's like having a mini Windows 8 box, which, I guess, technically I don't really need it because I've already got a, Windows 8, gaming PC, but I love how they integrated a lot of stuff into it, and then the whole TV functionality of it, where you can plug your cable box directly into it and be able to snap and control stuff and control the cable box with it.
This I will say,
awesome.
Microsoft's trying really hard to keep you from walking away from your TV.
Well,
they're trying.
And then on top of that, I mean, the way I look at it, the best of both worlds. Not to give reference to my boys, but the best of both worlds. You get the best of Nintendo, and I hate to say it, but in the long run, Microsoft's going to have the best multi-platform still. Just like last generation, it's going to work out being that way this generation.
Money talks.
Because there's like coming from my videos, Sony backed themselves into a corner once again with that system. Now, when Cerny said that we decided to go with this for day one performance and we'll worry about what developers need later on in years, he's already backed himself into a corner with the system. Microsoft and Nintendo made their system where it could have more longevity to it.
Uh-huh. No, the thing is, speaking of Nintendo, and you're saying about longevity, it's just kind of interesting how they, set up, like, for example, their GPU. If I'm not mistaken, they're supposed to be using an E6760, right?
Yeah, it's debatable. Some say it's a 5450. Some say it's a 5600. Some say 6670. It's a custom GPU. Nobody knows what exactly it is, all right, because it's a completely customized GPU.
I will say this though, the E6760 is literally the closest that you can get. I mean, down to being on the MCM form factor, supporting DDR3 directly on the chip. I mean, they're literally exact copies. The only thing missing is the CPU.
Exactly, and that's what I was sitting up here and wondering, and that's why I tend to lean more towards that one as the candidate.
And the voltage ratings are very favorable with fitting within the 75-watt max capacity.
And not just that, it's the only one, starting with that one, that supported streaming to a wireless device. Anything
Exactly.
before that didn't support it.
And get this, it was released to the public in 2012, July 2012.
But
it was just.
It's always good that the consoles have some longevity to it, because like the Super Nintendo had the FX chip, if my memory is correct, and that developed games like Star Fox.
Well, the FX chip was located in the cartridge itself, not in the system.
Yeah, and it was actually one of the first 3D graphics processors that you could find readily available, ironically. Right on inside the cartridge. It was pretty novel approach that they took.
But, hey, Quan, mind if I I'm going to change my what I want to talk about. I actually got something I want to talk about, and I want to make a statement and get y'all's input on it.
Okay.
And this is a statement directly to Nintendo. Okay? From this day forward, Nintendo, you need to look at third parties, give them the finger, and just go to your second party, your first party, go to your indie devs. Tell third party you had your chance, you had a year, you decided to waste it, not use it, not do anything useful with it. You decide you want to sit there and sit up on little chairs in front of cameras and run your head and say that we suck and say this and say that. You know what? Go have fun with your PlayStation 4. Go have fun with Xbox One. We're not going to let your games be on our system, period. We don't want your stupid Skyrim. We don't want your stupid next Call of Duty. We don't want Battlefield. We're going to give the whole world something different, something more that's more about gaming and less about your stupid profits. Plain and simple.
I will say this though: the most interesting 5 minutes of that entire piece of shenanigans last night was when Jeff was literally trying to grill Reggie again. And we asked, he said, "What do you think about the PS4 and the Xbox One?" He said, I congratulate them on launching their platform. He said, well, we're about making games that people want to play. And we're not about dang straight. They can go ahead and release hardware, do whatever, and we're not going to be bound by hardware. We're going to create experiences that people like and let those speak for the system.
The thing is, though, ironically, people think that that's just him doing the sales pitch.
No, that's been their mentality since day one.
Yeah,
what do you think about what I say Nintendo should do right now?
I agree. To be honest with you, the new third party should be the indies, because that's where you're going to get fresh start ideas from, because the market's been stagnated with FPS after FPS, Western RPG after Western RPG. They need to sit up here and also cater more to the Eastern devs as well that are Eastern centric. I want to see more JRPGs, for example. I want
to say something about that topic too. That reminds me, people are just shitting on Nintendo, saying that they should try to cater more to the Western third parties, but yet Sony and Microsoft aren't doing the latter. Why do you think the Xbox brand isn't selling so well in Japan?
Look, I find it funny. Some people have been making comments on my channel. I'm not going to name names, but they've been saying Nintendo hasn't showed one game yet that screams next gen as Killzone Shadows Fall. Nintendo doesn't do Killzone, people.
Well,
I mean, for God's sakes, why does... I'm so sick of people saying that Nintendo has... I mean, I've said it myself. I apologize. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have an Xbox One and a Wii U. Nintendo just be Nintendo, plain and simple. That's all I got to say about it.
Without even saying any names, Nate, I already know who you're talking about because I read the comments in the comment section. But as far as Nintendo just completely shutting out the third party, I'm not necessarily 100% agreeing on that. Simply because you're kind of unless you're only talking about the Western devs. Because on the Japanese devs, maybe they can still do something. Because Sega's still in partnership.
This is what
no. We're talking Western devs.
No, this is what I. Okay, let me rephrase it then. This is what I mean. Nintendo just needs to lay out just as bulldog rule. Number one, if you bring it to our system, it's not missing a single thing that the other systems have. If you bring it to our system, it's going to run absolutely as best as it possibly can. You're not going to shit port it. You're not going to shit code it. You're going to take and do your damn job and make it run right. If you can't meet these two expectations, don't even bother bringing it. If you want to bring a third-party exclusive made from the ground up for the Wii U, you're more than welcome. But when it comes to those multiplats, when it comes to the Dead Spaces, the Mass Effects, the Call of Duties, the Battlefields, all these different multiplats, the Need for Speeds, all of them, they need to have parity. And if they can't and are not willing to meet that expectation, Nintendo gives them the finger and tells them, take it somewhere else. We don't want it.
That's more of what I was thinking.
They need to take that seal that's on the back of every Nintendo game and make it mean something again, because there are shitty games that were brought out on the Wii U that had that seal on the back that shouldn't have had that seal because it damn sure wasn't a quality game.
Well, when you word it like that, then yeah, I can agree with that. Because I own some of these third parties. Like I do have Need for Speed Most Wanted U. I did get Injustice, which that is an injustice. And, so I know what you're saying.
Straight.
But yeah.
Speaking of crap ports, like I said, for example, and I've said this on other podcasts, I own one of the original print runs that they had over there for Batman Armored Edition with the whole glitched up glitched up DLC that they had for Harley Quinn, where you couldn't repeat it. And they wouldn't patch it. They would not patch it.
They did not patch the game at all. That's what I was so pissed off about. It's like Warner Brothers just they lost me. They literally lost me.
And these are the same guys behind the new version of Arkham that they got, Arkham Origins, I think it is. They got they're the ones behind the same studio, same people.
But that was better optimized, no? The Batman Origins, but as always, they missed the multiplayer feature.
You know what's funny? The Wii U version was not developed by WB Montreal. It's developed by Human Head Studios. The same people that brought you, I believe, Prey. What it was called?
I remember Prey. That was a very weird running gun right there.
I like Prey. It's kind of weird with the whole upside down. It's basically Portal in FPS.
Oh Lord, I'm telling you right now, that mess was very disorienting after a while.
Yeah. All that anti-gravity and upside. Yeah, it was interesting.
It was pretty fun though, you gotta admit.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. But anywho, like I was trying to say before, though, I'm to the point where I'm speechless because I'm still trying to recover over last night.
We all need a neuralizer for that, Juan.
Oh Lord.
I still say Reggie should have showed Zelda U or something. Cranky Kong is all fine and dandy, but they really needed to drop a bombshell last night.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
Well, that was just a missed opportunity, but it's done. It is what it is.
But if anybody in the chat room right now, they probably already listened to us last night, and we kind of said it may or may not have been a good move either way, because they've never been on that show before. They've never been part of the Spike Network before, at least not like that, and people are talking about them now, good or bad. Right before Christmas.
What needs to happen, though, is in the future for Mr. Keeley, Mr. Doritos Post, he needs to be really careful having future interviews with Reggie Fils-Aimé. dude always looks like he's ready to knock him out.
Yeah.
Reggie ain't no small dude either.
Exactly.
I got a question about last night. Do we even know how many people watched that? Because
I heard it's about 500K.
Well, see, that's my problem. All right, because the whole thing, honestly, was a troll fest. Like, every gamer got trolled. If you were a gamer, you got trolled because the world premieres that they kept showing were actually world premieres of an E3 video that we'd seen already, with one thing extra tacked on. So my thing was, why in the world well, I know why they did it like that, because of the weekend they tried to pull it out on, which they should have just waited 1 week. They should have just waited 1 week.
Oh, come on, college football, who watches that?
Yeah, their entire demographic, apparently.
Exactly.
Now, I was actually watching Cops because I thought it was going to be on TV. But in all honesty, that was a travesty. That was actually a joke. And half of the commercials that they did during it, where they were just doing like little parodies, which were actually very offending. Parodies that weren't even funny.
It was so painful to watch.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, next
It
time
looked like a bad YouTube video.
I'm like, dude, just next time, just do an actual award show like when Sam Jackson hosted it.
I mean, to be honest, like when I was watching it, like I was just laughing because it wasn't even funny. I was just laughing at how bad it was. And I'm not even gonna lie, I actually did turn that junk off after Nintendo's announcement because I was like, it's not gonna get any better after this.
It didn't.
Busy playing
We
Battlefield
stayed for a while.
It actually got worse from there. It got worse from there. Like I said, sadly, the Cranky Kong reveal was the best out of all the reveals.
And that was pretty bad, though. You gotta admit, because come on,
like
I mean, it is what it is. Come on, let's be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Okay, Nintendo got me. I was hoping for something like X, something out of left field, but oh well, whatever.
But
Yeah.
the thing is,
Yeah.
here's the thing. But did Nintendo actually do that? I mean, like a lot of people hyping themselves up because, like, once again, like I seen the videos that came out on YouTube. I'm like, people like losing their junk, but I'm like, dude, ain't nobody tell you that was coming
Well,
out.
to be,
Nobody told you X was coming
but to
out.
be,
Nobody told.
but to be fair though, like in the article, it did say previously announced Wii U game, which that's not being specific, and there have been quite a few games that have been announced. So
Especially
that's a vague.
But at the same time, they didn't tell you what it was. So if you went into that thinking, oh, it's gonna be this, and this, that's on you.
No, but I mean, I was expecting
guys
Nintendo to do
both
something
got
like
it.
that. To be honest,
Yeah,
like
I was
my
expecting-
expectations were
My
in
expectations
check.
were low.
But
They were as low as you could get.
I was just hoping for the best case scenario, which clearly did not happen.
Yeah, because like Zelda, they had already told people Zelda is E3. So the best you're gonna get is a Nintendo Direct in probably March. That's the best you're gonna get.
You know, one thing's for sure though. I think they didn't want to step on the toes of what's happening this coming week. Okay, there's something going around. Emily Rogers was saying that there's something going around the waters of the Miiverse update coming to the 3DS this week.
Yeah, tomorrow,
So-
ain't it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
presumably what's going to happen. And with the Miiverse integration, Lord knows what else they're going to be coming up with. So who knows? Maybe they just didn't want to sit up here and tip their hand too early because they're trying to come up with something on their own.
Well, Amazon already tipped it for them.
Yeah, the Cranky Kong thing. Oh Lord, Cranky Kong, aka Scrooge McDuck.
Well, I mean, you gotta think about it this way also. I mean, the reason it was worded so vague was to get us to turn in, and it did get us to tune in. I mean, it accomplished what it was set out to do.
Yeah, which was our biggest mistake ever.
Exactly.
It was our biggest mistake ever for tuning into that.
I'm
Oh,
sorry to think
actually,
that
we-
nowhere near 500K would have been on there if Nintendo decided
Oh.
not to show.
Heck nah.
Well, we all went there to watch DuckTales Tropical Freeze.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, though, you got to admit, though, we had some good comedy out of there last night.
I mean, yeah, because if it wasn't for us like making it funny, I probably would have left in like at 7:15. We stayed an extra 45 minutes. We stayed 2 hours watching
no
that
reason
mess.
at all.
We was trying. We took one for
tried.
the team. We took one for the team. We did it
Yeah.
for you, the viewers.
We tried, people. We couldn't take it no more.
It was bad.
They will get the achievement for watching the.
Oh Lord! Achievement unlocked. No lie.
I got that achievement because I went back. I kept the stream open and I went back and retroactively watched the rest of it.
Oh,
And that was an hour and a half of my life I can't get back.
I heard that was like
Lord.
the whole GTA 5
Concert,
concert thing.
so bad.
Lord.
Dude, cause like
The
remember when
bootleg West Side Connection.
oh heck no, please no. but remember when they did the whole game of the year at 7 o'clock? Like, Rockstar came up there. Like the three people that had representing Rockstar, they did not look like they wanted to be there. They were
did not
like,
know what was
"Why
going
are
on."
we here?" There ain't you only heard one person clapping. I'm like, "Who the hell is that?" Oh, it's Jeff Keighley.
Yeah,
Dude,
Jeff Killian, the guy holding the script.
Yeah.
But have you guys actually asked yourselves a question? Because in terms of Game of the Year, what year has Grand Theft Auto not won it? So why even hold
It's
that
the
award?
most popular game. It's not.
Like-
It's not the game of the year or the best game of the year. It's the
Well,
most
I'm not saying
popular
saying
game.
it is, but I mean when they bring that award up, we already know Grand Theft Auto is going to get it.
As long as it's
If it
released
comes
that year,
out,
yeah.
So I'm just like, why even hold that? Hold that because we all know it's going to be Grand Theft Auto.
Well,
I literally-
we
I
knew it was
looked at
gonna
it, I
be
was
Grand Theft Auto when it stole out. With them sales, you knew it was gonna be Grand Theft Auto. I mean, when the sales came out in September or whenever the game was released, you knew it was getting Game of the Year probably across the board for everything that's coming out. When they do their awards at the end of the year, it's gonna get Game of the Year for everything.
Gentlemen,
I promise you
this
that.
is the only game to release this year completely broken, and people tried to cover for it.
You know, the thing is, let me tell you something. That just shows you the sad state that the gaming industry is in. Take a look at this. Everybody was playing Grand Theft Soundtrack 5 and worried more about the soundtrack than they were about the actual gameplay. When the multiplayer online was kind of broken, they had a lot of bugs that happened during the single player campaign, etc. and whatnot. Not to mention, they didn't bring it out on as many platforms they should have, and yet it still got Game of the Year. Wow.
Hey, remember when Skyrim won Game of the Year and on PS3 it was virtually unplayable?
Broken. Oh, it was broken on 360 too.
Yeah.
At the time, it was in the middle of getting a patch.
Yeah, so and they still won Game of the Year, and the excuse they gave then was, well, they packed it with so much content. There's no way you could ever not have something to do in Skyrim. I'm like, it's not working.
Oh,
Super Smash for the Ball says hi.
Yeah, exactly.
All I have to say is, if you want to sit up here and go by that, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning should have got Game of the Year. How about that?
Yep.
At least that game actually worked as intended.
Yeah.
You know,
It was optimized well.
Yeah, you gotta admit that game had some sickness in the controls. I don't know who's here of all played Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning yet.
If that's why Skyrim got Game of the Year, why didn't Xenoblade get Game of the Year?
Oh,
because it was on a Nintendo system, dude. What the hell?
sorry,
you know what this
my
is.
bad. I thought
You
it
know what
came
this
out on
is.
360. I'm sorry.
Well, we'll
I thought
give
it was
Game
made
of the
by
Year if it's a
Bethesda.
Nintendo category.
I'm sorry. I thought there were game-ending glitches in that. I'm sorry.
Oh Lord.
I thought the combat system was entertaining. I'm
Yo,
talking about the wrong
man.
game. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yo, Fox, think about it this way, man. Ain't nobody play games no more. They look at them.
Yeah.
that's why
I
they
will
love the
say this though. I
cutscenes.
do like the magic system. I like the magic tree in Skyrim. I do like that. I like the
Oh
branching
yeah, the
paths
Magic
where
Tree
you
was actually
upgrade.
cool. Yeah.
But the actual combat, like close-up combat, is like,
Clunky.
it's a
And-
chore.
And God forbid you go in the first person.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord. It's not Dead Island bad, is it?
It's bad.
If you go in the first person and try to do like the melee stuff, dude, it's horrible.
Dude, let me tell you something. Like I was saying before, stuff like that. I like the melee system that they had in Xeno. I don't know if you ever heard of Xeno. I think it's Xenoclash. I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember the name of it. Xenoclash. I think it is.
Xenoclash.
Yeah, because I got that in my Steam library. That kind of combat system would have worked well. You know what I'm saying? And as far as an RPG, an action RPG, to have physical combat, melee combat, even bare-fisted combat. You know what I'm saying? Because they got kicks, blocks, feints, and the full nine. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you guys a story about one of my Skyrim experiences in which
Oh Lord.
they suppose the game of the year was the best game ever, right? okay, so you know there are these missions where you gotta follow an NPC and he's gonna carry you somewhere, which in turn triggers the rest of the mission, right? Right.
Okay.
So in this case, this priest has got to lead me to this old abandoned chapel on I can't remember the name of the area, but it was a really snowy area, right? So this guy starts off leading me. He's like, follow me, Dragonborn. I will lead you to the temple. So I start following the dude. I'm like, okay, let's go. He's slow as hell though. I'm outrunning this dude. I'm like, really? Come on, you can't move any faster than this. So finally we get to within a stone's throw of the temple. You know what happens? Dude falls through the snow.
Oh,
wow.
Through the texture into nothing. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing the arrow telling me to follow this dude, but this dude ain't nowhere.
Oh my god.
You know what the worst part is? That happened repeatedly. I had to start that mission over upwards of 7 times in order to finish that mission, hoping that glitch wouldn't happen again.
Whoa.
There's your game of the year, folks.
Well, when I play Mario Kart 64 and played DK Jungle, I always fell into that green screen just so I can get on the last lap.
Greatest glitch ever.
Use them to your advantage.
Because that blue shell gonna come out of nowhere. Oh, you in first? Any more?
They'd have to have like maybe 30 blue shells for that to even matter, because that glitch automatically puts you on the last lap.
Hey guys, have you even thought seriously about how many broken gamepads there are going to be when Mario Kart launches?
Oh,
I'm gonna stick to the Pro Controller. I'm sticking to the Pro Controller so I won't break it.
Oh, Lord.
Goddamn blue shell pash.
Pro Controller also for the battery power, by the way.
You know, I actually like playing with the Wii Wheel and the GameCube controller. Well, we're still kind of. I prefer the GameCube controller in Mario Kart Wii because doing the stunts.
Why didn't they make like a Wavebird for the Wii U? I mean, oh man, that would have been so good.
I was imagining about that too, especially for Smash Brothers.
There's an adapter.
Pilot Wings would have been very good on the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a third-party adapter that allows you to do that. Like you can plug any GameCube controller up to it, and therefore.
Yeah, but would it be awesome if Nintendo makes their own edition of the GameCube controller for the Wii U?
They need
I said redo the gamepad. I said redo the not the gamepad, but redo the Pro Controller as a very similar to the old-fashioned GameCube controller, but with the extra buttons that and the layout that's needed. And for the love of God, I know a lot of people are going to sit up here and say, "Oh, it's not a big deal." I wouldn't mind for Smash the analog triggers.
I wouldn't mind them either.
For the blocks.
I wouldn't mind them either.
Yeah, because they were the bubble was as big as you wanted it to be, so you can use as much energy. Yeah, that was actually that was needed in Melee quite a bit.
Yeah. Because especially with like some of the people, dare I say, freaking Roy. I'm gonna hit you with. I'm so powerful and fast, just like Marth. You die.
Actually, Roy was slightly slower than Marth.
He was slightly slower, but when he started doing that dance, his dance of the flame blade, he wasn't slower.
Well, but the thing with his dance blade is just because the flame element, it was a multi-hit.
And how fast did you go off?
Well, all I have to say is I had no issues fighting Roy's.
I had issues fighting Roy. And Jigglypuff. And
Jigglypuff I can understand.
Jigglypuff I can understand. Expert player anyway. Number one, if you fight somebody with Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff is who you play when you want to troll.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, even better, Pichu.
Oh yeah, because Pichu kills himself.
Team.
The little.
Pichu kills himself as he goes. Guys, I stuck a link in the chat. I didn't want to troll the whole show, but I think this needs to be said a little bit more because people tend to want to forget. But this is from the developer Shin'en, right? Mm-hmm. And basically, I just kind of want to quote this because this was said by them and a couple other people.
I saw it
before. I mean, and literally, the question is asked: are there any crucial modern GPU features that the Wii U is lacking? I mean, directly speaking. Referring to the competition, the Wii U GPU is several generations ahead of the current generation.
Referring to Xbox.
I'll say it again. The Wii U GPU is several generations ahead of the current generation. It allows many things that were not possible on consoles before. If you develop for Wii U, you have to take advantage of these possibilities. Otherwise, your performance is, of course, limited. Limited. Also, your engine layout needs to be different, meaning you can't run the same code on 360 directly on the Wii U. You need to take advantage of the large shared memory of the Wii U, the huge and very fast EDRAM section, and the big CPU caches in the cores. Especially the workings of the CPU caches are very important to master. Otherwise, you can lose a magnitude of power for cache relevant parts of your code. In the end, the Wii U specs fit perfectly together and make a very efficient console when used right.
It seems like, you know what, the way the layout of the Wii U and the with the GPU and the CPU was made in such a way as to sit up here and serve as an education for how to code efficiently rather than, you know, code with bloat. That's what it looks like to me.
It literally it is, and that's why these third-party developers hate it. They can't just have one engine and spread it across all the consoles, especially not this one, because you're gonna have to manage memory. You're gonna have to manage CPU processes and everything. You're not going to be able to just run the whole code. And the reason why PS4 did it that way is because it's like, well, shoot, if we just make it this much more powerful, everybody's code will run here because we'll get it to run by brute force.
In other words,
and if that's the case, buy a PC.
Thank you.
In other words, the developers hate the Wii U because it does not facilitate their laziness.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. But you can't tell some people that.
Oh no.
Yeah,
These are the same
with
people that said they don't consider themselves talented developers because they made Nano Assault Neo without really digging into the GPU at all. They literally just made a few shaders that attached to the code of the GPU, and they ran some runtime, some sound for the second core, and the rest of the game code on the first core, and that was it. They were running 720p on the screen and on the gamepad at the same time pretty quickly. They tried. They wanted to do 1080p, but they couldn't do it in the time frame that they wanted to with all the extra effects that they threw on top.
That's why I'm looking forward to fast. That's why I'm looking forward to fast.
But they really took advantage of the hardware.
Well, fast racing.
Look, they took advantage of the hardware, but they didn't. So if that game looked like that, and the way that they're talking, they just threw it together. So if that's the case, then we see things like Super Mario 3D World from Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was wait, hold on a second. Hold on. So what were you going to say, Dominic?
Whoa, how'd you know my name, big man? Never mind. Moving on. Fast Racing League on the Wii. I mean, that was made on 40 megabytes, yo. So, and the Wii U has way more memory than the Wii.
And it basically has a better memory architecture. It could actually support 4 to 8K of textures with no problem. I mean, trust me, the Wii U is going to be fine for as long as it needs to be around. And I got a feeling that like I said before, and I've said this in many podcasts before, they are not going for a 10-year console cycle. They're going for a 5 to 6. And that's why they made it just long enough to anticipate the needs of what's going on with the developers as they change over in design philosophy, and then boom, that's when they're going to come out with another system.
Hey, if you think about it, Wii was the longest console with the exception of the NES that they've had out. Everything else has been 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, that is true. As soon as that fifth year hit,
wasn't that the Super Nintendo after that?
The Super Nintendo came out in 91.
Yeah.
But the NES was out in 84, 85 in Japan.
And it went to 90.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a pretty long run. The SNES was barely 4 years.
Then it went to 64. I think in 96, 95 in Japan, 96 in
April 95.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is gonna be completely random, but a game I would actually like to see remade is Army Men.
Oh, I want to see the commercials remade. I want to see the commercials remade.
Who owns that franchise now? Who owns that IP?
Isn't that
3DO is dead, so who owns that now?
Didn't THQ own it at one point? So somebody else got to have it now.
Yeah, somebody else has it.
I wonder who has that.
Because I know THQ had it for a little bit. So I'm pretty sure somebody else should have it now. If not, it might just be laying out there.
You know, speaking of obscure properties and whatnot, what about a remake of Alexei?
Of what?
I'm not sure the name, Axele or Alexei. It's a shooter that came out on SNES.
I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. You got me.
I don't remember the name of it.
That sounds familiar. Though.
Axele?
Like actually,
Axele. I'm trying to get.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know how to pronounce it though. I may have to look it up. Axele, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to pronounce it.
Yeah, Axele.
It's Axley. It's what it is. It's just Axley.
Axley? Oh, okay. I never played that. So.
Podcast.
It was wasn't it an arcade machine before, or was it straight Super Nintendo?
That I don't know.
The crap out of me, just like come barging through the door with a chair. Sorry about that, guys.
There were some huge bosses in that game, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it wasn't arcade. If what I'm thinking about, if I'm thinking properly, I don't think it was an arcade.
It might have just been SNES.
It might just been SNES.
Mm-hmm. I would like to see that being redone by Shinyan.
I would like to see on the Wii U also another Ogre Battle.
Oh, Ogre Battle. I'll tell you right now, Ogre Battle was good for strategy, you know?
I wasn't a fan of Ogre Battle.
Ogre Battle. I never heard of that game. Do you know what is it about?
Ogre Battle's an RPG, dude. It's a strategy RPG.
A strategy RPG, and it
They did
was
one on 64,
really good.
didn't they?
Wasn't
Yeah, they
that
did one on
game made
64.
by Blizzard? Wasn't that game made by Blizzard?
No,
I don't think so.
no, that was Ogre Battle. I think it was made by. I don't remember. I think it was a studio from Atlus. I think.
Oh God, Axelay was that game where you fought that giant fire-breathing Satan with the robotic head. It looked like a combination of Satan and Kano.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
By the way, Square Enix owns the rights to the Ogre Battle series now, from what I'm seeing. I took the time to look it up. The developer was Quest. Quest developed it, and Square Enix, I think, were the ones who published it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm looking at it now, and no, there's publishers like they developed it. I'm sorry, Square Enix developed it as well. Then you got Quest, Enix, River Hill Software, ArtDink, Atlas, and these are other publishers that have published it. Also Nintendo and SNK.
I see.
SNK, I love those guys.
Oh man, SNK.
Samurai Showdown, favorite game ever.
But yeah, Ogre Battle will be awesome on the Wii U because of the control, and I will love how to arrange your units with the control. You remember that one?
And silence hits the room.
Yeah, because I don't remember that one. So yeah, y'all stumped me on that one.
Oh Lord, I'm telling you, but like I said though, you know, those type of games, to see them remade and brought back would bring unique, interesting IPs over here. And there's another one was Treasure, and I'll say this over and over, by Treasure Mischief Makers.
Yeah, you troublemakers in Japan.
Yeah, it was called what was it called again in Japan?
Yu Troublemakers.
Yeah, Yu Troublemakers. Yeah, Mischief Makers was she was kind of like the antithesis of Mega Man. She fought straight up melee. Everything with her was hand-to-hand combat. She would sit there, grab your bullets or whatever in midair and throw them right back at you.
You can grab an enemy and then you press up and down and say shake, shake, shake.
Oh Lord,
it was hilarious.
That
Makers.
That game was excellent. I'm serious. You see, there's so many different IPs that Nintendo can ask a lot of their old partners to bring back from their back catalog that I'm just surprised they never bothered.
They can outright buy some of them because some of these companies aren't around anymore.
Bad dudes.
Bad dudes.
That's
right. Bad enough dude to save your dudes.
Yeah, they're not
bad
around.
Dude to save your dudes.
But for example, all members of Rare want to work on the Wii U.
They need to do that and make a Jet Force Gemini.
Well, it's funny that you say that because the one of the guys, I think the director of Jet Force Gemini, is actually working on a game for Wii U with his indie studio, but he won't say what it is. So I'm guessing they're gonna say something about that at a later date.
I hope it's a spiritual successor to Jet Force Gemini at least.
Cause supposedly he got a lot of people in his indie studio, supposedly, but that's all he said because they were doing like an interview with him and the Stamper Brothers, And matter of fact, some of the members of the actual Rareware team from then were like, they were all broke up, but they were like, yeah, we actually, our indie teams are actually wanting to work with, and some of them are working on stuff for Nintendo, for Wii U and 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to be actually funny, because I would love to see what they got up their sleeve, seeing as how they make games I like.
Well, I will say E3 is going to be interesting.
I hope they do. I hope they
agree
do
with
what
that.
I kind of hope they do what they did this past year and just buck the actual show and just do something out with everybody.
Yeah.
Because that was actually cool, except for the part where the Microsoft employees showed up at that Best Buy in Wisconsin and pretty much got trolled for doing that.
Actually, what they needed to do with that, though, they needed a far better execution, because I mean, I went to that. You're talking about the Nintendo Experience thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to that, and like, they needed to have 4 different kiosks for each demo. Therefore, you weren't staying in one massive line.
Well,
You know
I
what
mean,
I'm
it was their first one, so I'm pretty sure if they do it again, they're gonna have it better.
I hope they do it again. That was
because
so
nobody ever did that. Nobody has ever done that. So for them to actually do it first,
are you talking about the tour after the console came
You know
out?
what? I'm gonna say this right now. I hope Sony and Microsoft do the same thing. You know?
Well, I hope they do it just so people can have fun and we won't have to have like that whole Microsoft employee thing. I still think that's funny. Still, it's freaking hilarious. Because I wouldn't have did it. I don't care if I was working for Microsoft. I wouldn't have did it.
I actually was talking to the Microsoft rep who went to mine. Man, that was funny.
See, see, if it would have been me, I would have been like, yeah, I just got off work. I got next.
Just hearing the Microsoft rep talk trash about both Sony and Nintendo was hilarious. I'm like, dude, why are you here then?
Yeah. You know. Speaking of obscure stuff and different games and other things that we would like to see, I would like to see more puzzler games and stuff like. Okay, who remembers Mental's Palace?
No, not me.
Very obscure NES title from I think it was '89.
Don't remember that.
That was before my time because I was born in '90. So yeah, I started playing games at 2, but I was born in '90.
I think in '89 I was playing Guardian Legend.
And let's see, 90 I was playing, 89 I was playing Super Mario 3, and I was playing that first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that pissed me off.
That was the good one because it was hard.
No, that was the annoying one.
Nah, man.
I played in the arcade. I played the good stuff.
You know,
Turtles 2 in the arcade.
You know what game was hard? That Lion King game on the Sega Genesis.
Oh
Yes.
God, I have that. I love that game.
There was a couple of platforming sequences that were like, no. You just literally jump off a cliff and die over and over again.
Yeah.
You didn't know what part you were supposed to catch when you jumped. There was nothing to tell you where to go either.
Oh Lord.
Hey, let me ask this because Rashidi's mic is messed up. Let me ask.
Yeah,
he
that's
had
what
a
I was
question.
going to talk about.
Let me ask this question for Rashidi right quick. He asks, what are the opinions of people regarding people who dismiss the Wii U? I've noticed most people that don't like the Wii U, once they sat down and played some of the games, ended up liking it, and most of them are like the dude bro types of gamers. What are our thoughts on that?
Okay, the first thing I want to say is I listened to the first Game Scoop that's talked about Wii U longer than 2 minutes in a real long time. Mm-hmm. And they had Demon Hatefield, as they like to call him.
That
was on the show, and he finally got a Wii U, and he sat down and played one. And the very first thing he said was, "Using the gamepad is way cooler than I thought it would be until I sat down and played it."
Then why was he running his mouth?
Because he's Damon. He's been doing this for like 10 years now.
Oh Lord.
Man, there's plenty of people on YouTube alone that sit there and run their mouth. You know, like somebody that got a 3DS recently and has been raving, and having a blast with it. Why couldn't he do that with the Wii U if he's having so much fun with the 3DS?
Because then he'd have to admit that he has to sit up here and adjust to actually gaming for gaming and not for graphics. That's why. Some people play.
I mean, this certain person's a walking contradiction. Okay.
People like to play with their eyes instead
hold
of their
on.
hands.
Is it? It can't be Phil Fish, right? Because I remember Phil Fish hating the 3DS.
Man, Phil Fish
No,
hates
no, no.
everything.
It's somebody that's in YouTube, and I'm not going to mention his name because he doesn't deserve
okay.
that much.
Okay, come on, guys. Let's keep it gaming now.
I'm keeping it gaming. I'm not mentioning names.
Let me mention the person that turned around.
I know exactly who you mean. And the thing is, like I said, that's because some people like to play games with their eyes and not with their hands. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And there you go. You know what I mean by that, right? Come on, the same ones that sit up here and lust over, the most lush graphics effects, and yet when you ask them, so what's the story about? And they'll sit there, but it looks nice.
But that's horrible. You know why?
A lot of people
like shit compared to Pixar stuff.
A lot of people forget that it's all about the game and enjoying it and having fun with it.
Dude, I personally love cutscene the game. I do. I mean,
and almost gamey.
Yeah, I can't wait. Matter of fact, I can't wait for the movies to come out because that's basically why they were made.
Jay,
the movie.
Jay.
Yeah.
Hey, I think we kind of talked about this offline a little bit, but I came across the article again, and then I actually did my own research to verify it because certain people in certain comment sessions tend to think that it doesn't exist. The guy's name is Xander Davis, and he was credited with working on Darksiders 2, not the Wii U version, but Darksiders 2.
Oh yeah, the THQ one. Yeah, I told you about that, right?
Mad shit about the Wii U.
Yeah, that dude was off the chain.
Was horrible. Well, now he's making this little indie game called Cider since he got fired from THQ for such comments. And now, since he's actually sat down and played the Wii U, he loves it.
Dude, it reminded me of you ever remember those old Life cereals? Mikey, he didn't like anything. And you could have had him try. You tried Life cereals, like, look, Mikey, he likes it.
That also reminds me of like green eggs and ham.
Oh Lord, Sam, I don't like green eggs and ham. Oh Lord.
Yeah, Shadow. Yeah, I remember that article because now he has a whole blog. And the funny thing about it is, I'm like, he was talking mad cash, but the thing is, he's not gonna go back to IGN and GameSpot and Game Trailers where he originally made those comments and say anything. He's gonna say it on his blog where you have to actually work to find it.
Here's the thing with these people. On what Shadow Fox just said about not knowing what you're talking about before you actually get your hands on the product. It's real simple. How in the world are you going to have an opinion on something you've never used? Because when you have a problem with their opinion, right? They tell you, oh well, can't I have an opinion now? No, you can't. Not if you haven't used the product.
True.
That's craziness, man. How can you give me an honest review according to your own beliefs on a book if you haven't read it all the way through?
Exactly.
That's true.
Nintendo, I have been going through basically a comment battle with somebody that's been just as ignorant.
Oh
and
Lord.
Literally, their whole opinion was, and this is a common thing going around right now, that the Wii U is weak because Call of Duty Ghosts is running at 880 by 720 because that's what Activision said, right? Anybody that has played a Wii U, for the most part, knows that just about every game supports gamepad play, which means that the GPU is also mirroring a second display to the gamepad.
All right.
So even if you just dirty port from the 360 to the Wii U, it's still drawing over 1 million pixels, which is over 720p. Which is more than what the Xbox One is doing right now on Call of Duty Ghosts.
You mean Call of Duty copy and paste Modern Warfare 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you tell a person on the street that the Wii U is drawing more pixels in that game than the Xbox One is, they'll look at you like you're crazy.
Oh Lord. Because like I said, nobody considers the gamepad an actual screen unless they're the owner of a Wii U.
It's not like the PS4, which somebody also tried to mention to me. Oh, well, the Vita can do everything that the PS4 is doing, so therefore it's displaying even more pixels, 1080p plus that. I'm like, no, not only is the Vita using its own GPU and CPU to receive the stream, the PS4 isn't even using its GPU to draw whatever's mirroring to it. It has a separate co-processor to decode everything so it can stream to Twitch, Facebook, and whatever else it needs to go to. GPU is doing none of that extra work. The Wii U, on the other hand, You can't even use 2 gamepads or more than 2 gamepads for that reason.
I got a feeling, though, I wouldn't be surprised if dual gamepad functionality comes out soon enough, because there's going to be a need for it in time, especially with everybody going, multi-screen gaming.
I'm
Well,
wondering
didn't
why
they
they
already
did
say that, though?
Nintendo Land, because I mean Nintendo Land could have clearly is not necessarily killing the system.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember them
Yeah.
making a comment about like that at one point it is gonna get there. Just like right now, they want to make sure that it worked like properly. That's what the whole thing was. They wanted to make sure that the games and the gamepad was working properly because they were all about asynchronous gaming. They didn't want to cause an issue with that. That's why they didn't do the dual gamepads yet.
Yeah, that's why they delayed that function.
Yeah.
It's
Because
possible.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna do it at some point. They're just probably waiting for the right game to do it on.
Well, it's a shame EA got their heads wedged, clearly up their behinds as far as porting to the Wii U is concerned. Because, like I said, there is an open opportunity for them to have calling plays and making your own plays without having the other player taking a good look at what you're sitting up here and coming up with.
That is the
Strategy-wise.
first thing I thought of when I saw this console. I'm like, there is no reason for there not to be every EA game on this system.
Dude, first of all, you gotta understand, Hillerman does not want to work on a crap system like the Wii U. Okay, Hillerman does not want to work on a crap system. Okay.
Hey, Andre, how you doing? Glad you made it, man. How you doing, man?
How do
Andre,
you get in?
because he was.
No, because we hit our max. You know,
Rashidi,
like a max.
Rashidi's
on
not here. Rashidi's not here.
Rashidi dropped
Rashidi-
out.
He dropped out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess since we talked about
Oh,
his
what's up, Andre?
What's up, everybody? Sorry, I got
Hello.
in.
Hey, Nate, you mentioned something about being a Xbox One and Wii U owner for the most part. What you see in your future, right?
Yeah, that's
Do-
what I see in my
you-
future besides PC gaming.
Do you think if there's a mass movement circa the Wii 60 movement, you think if that happened again with the Wii U and the Xbox One, we'll actually see better ports, considering they have the same GPU subsystem layout versus
Hold on,
the PS4,
we got to come up
which
with a good
is
name for this, and that would
I
have to
think
be.
that this. Just a sec. Let me back out of what I was.
The
doing.
U
you
one.
and the Wii U screws it up.
Let's say the U1 or the Wii
You know,
one.
there was a lot of people out there that are misconstruing. I've done 2 videos in the last couple of days talking about that I think the Wii U can be as good as PS4 and Xbox One, on par with it. All right? They're misconstruing my words completely, thinking I'm saying that it's going to look exactly the same as PS4, Xbox One. Some games, yeah, it can look exactly the same. Other games, maybe not. But when Xbox One starts getting more and more games coming to it, because I'm sorry, Sony, they've already been hacked.
Yeah.
They've already been hacked. I mean, it's
Wait,
it's,
the PS4 got hacked?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
network got
entire
hacked and
PSN
everything.
got shut down for a minute.
Yeah.
Yo.
Like a day and a half, I think.
So it goes to show Microsoft has been building an entire infrastructure of networking for Xbox Live. Sony all of a sudden starts charging for it, and they ain't done nothing to make it any better than what it was on PlayStation 3. So eventually you're going to see a lot more shift to the Xbox One. And when that happens, then those games that do eventually get brought to the Wii U do have a lot better chance of being a lot better quality, since the Xbox One and the Wii U are set up in a very similar fashion, although different hardware, very similar fashion. So, yeah, I think we're going to see a lot better games that way.
Their GPUs are basically identical. Well, I'll put it this way.
Not identical.
One is GCN architecture. One is kind of like a hybrid. Nobody really knows what the Wii U has really going on.
It isn't just that. The Xbox One's GPU is basically a 7850, okay? It's one step below what I have in my computer.
Yeah. So well, as far as shaders go, it's not more the shader count, but how everything's laid out, the logic is laid out. I guess more of my thing is that they're going to draw frames the exact same way. So you've got 32 megs for your frame buffer,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the rest
exactly.
goes to the DDR3.
Exactly. You know, and it's going to be great. You know, once the developers wrap their head around the Xbox One's ES RAM, then they'll know exactly how to attack the Wii U's ED-RAM, which is much, much faster than the Xbox One's ES RAM.
Mhm.
So, you know, and it's just going to be a great setup, and eventually you'll start seeing some really good games. But you know what? I'm not putting my faith in third party to pay attention to the Wii U at all. They're a bunch of scapegoat, always giving an excuse type of people. I've just come to the conclusion that have a Wii U, have an Xbox One, have my PC for everything else, and I'll be a happy man. All right? I'm tired of playing the specs. I talk about specs because I want to educate those that think they know what they're talking about. But as far as me personally, do I care about specs? No. You know, because the Wii U is going to have great graphics. Xbox One's going to have great graphics. My PC, when I finally get me a 780 Ti in this bad boy, it's going to have killer graphics. So, I mean, I don't care anymore. I just want to be able to have fun, play games, do live streams, talk about the news, and just have good fun. You know what I mean?
Speaking of streaming and video, here goes one hot button issue I want to hit on. What do you guys think of the beautiful changes they have coming to YouTube?
Oh God, I heard about it.
I think I want to stick a fork in my eye when I hear about it.
Can I choose to plead the fifth?
Me too. I'm pleading the fifth.
If any other service, video service comes up, takes notes about what people actually want, and give Google a giant middle finger, they're going to have a migration of persons to go over there.
Oh, definitely.
Dude, I've been saying for the last couple of weeks that there needs to be a startup group of people, you know, that comes together, gets the upstart money together, and they go to all the different gaming publishers and producers and say, look, we want to start up a gaming YouTube. We want your permission to be able to let people be able to put gaming videos up, just, you know, reviews, gameplays, let's plays, all that. And for me, the kind of rules that would be, implemented would be, when it comes to let's plays, no longer than an hour and only once per game. You cannot, when it comes to a story-based game like Zelda or whatever, a multiplayer shoot-'em-up game, there's no limit. But an actual, the actual story part of it, up to 1 hour, one time for that game. After that, you can't put anymore. Because if you do an entire let's play of every single level in a game on the campaign, you take away the ability, you take away the incentive for some people, not everybody, but some people to go out there and buy the game. They just say, screw it, I'll watch it on YouTube, save myself $60.
The Last of Us, bro.
Good point and well made.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I did that with Catherine.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't give you wrong, man. That's your prerogative. If you want to do that, then you're gonna do that. I mean, they're literally trying to take your freedoms away. No, you can't go do that because we'll lose money. Yeah, because I don't think I'd want to spend my money on that game without knowing what it is.
Yeah. But
Catherine's kind
keeping
of a
it to
game
1 hour for a let's play and one time per game, that's not taking away your rights. It's letting you be able to get people out there to see what the game's about. But it's also not taking away the right from the developer to have people buy the game to get the full story.
Nate, what's stopping people from just making multiple videos then?
Yeah, that's also a possibility too. People can end up making bits and chunks of videos under different accounts, and there you go.
Basically,
that's where moderation comes in.
But you know what? At the same time, I'm just saying maybe they need to sit up here and just loosen up a little bit with all this mess. Because be honest with you, a lot of times when people have let's plays, they're not going to sit up here and choke their whole entire hard drive on 1 or 2 games and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how much it takes to sit up here and render a decent video. You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand this concept anyway because it's nothing but free advertisement. Why wouldn't you take it?
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. It's free advertisement.
I'm going to post the link in the chat section about someone from Cram Gaming. They actually have a list of which publishers and which companies are going to have which rules. By that, I mean who's going to allow monetization, who says it's okay to put it up so long as you're not making money. They all do something different, and honestly, I want to know who in the hell they expect to remember all of this. Say, okay, today I've got to put up this game, so I've got to remember what this person says. It's all really ridiculous. All really ridiculous. The link you should be seeing it right about now. I'm not too sure. Hang on.
So basically, is it the different companies putting pressure on Google, or is this Google trying to do a cover my own ass?
I think it's the other. I think
It's
companies.
a
Combination of both.
I think it's a mix of both as well.
It's like somebody passed SOPA without passing SOPA.
Pretty much.
Yep.
So my question is this: can we skirt around this also by just doing off screens?
Basically, because that's what.
Because that's technically your original content. You're recording your living room.
Okay, for instance, I'm just gonna read out a couple of the companies that say what they want to do, what they'll allow. Activision doesn't allow derivative works on their service. Capcom says it's okay so long as you're already making money. Codemasters doesn't want you to monetize the videos. Microsoft completely fine so long as you're not paid. Let's see. Naughty Dog, they don't want you to use any of their footage at all.
Wow. Oh, because they have
Hey, Jason
narrative-driven
Rubin.
games. Yeah, they got cutscene in game, so.
Yeah. They're trying to get the movies made.
Yep.
Say when your game is all cinematics, you would get mad if somebody put it up.
Exactly. Nintendo, as of recently, encourages videos, especially Let's Plays, except they may decide to monetize video and take your money.
That's
I'm
after they
annoyed
got
with
cussed out, though, because they were trying to get
Yeah.
them taken down, too.
What I
Yep.
thought they should have done, go back and, if somebody has got the video tagged with Nintendo content, put their advertisements on the video, but don't take the monetization.
Exactly, because either way they still get their advertising, but by enabling the monetization, it adds like an incentive for the Let's Player and adds, to, I don't know, it just makes it easier for them to have free advertising.
It
Because a lot
gives
of
them
people,
advertising, it lets people play the game, talk about it, and try to get other people to play it, and they're not stepping on anybody's toes.
This
thing
is just.
This is
just
really,
yeah, go on.
really getting ridiculous. I mean, you're making free advertisement for the games. I mean, what you gotta lose with that?
That's right. This is just a step lower than telling me I can't show a personal friend of mine the game because they didn't buy the game. Right?
Pretty much.
I'm
What
sorry.
Microsoft was telling
Right
you
along them
at
lines.
E3?
I'm sorry, guys. I have to go.
okay, then you
I
can
will-
do your sign off then if you want right now.
Oh, all right. Then I'm going to talk about in this podcast was about microtransactions. It seems people always get that microtransactions are evil, but it's not the microtransactions are evil, but it's the companies that put them on that are the evil thing. Because there are some studios like the studio that broke part of Path of Exile, Grinding Gears or something like that. They actually have a good microtransaction system since it's a free-to-play game, and it's really great because it's really not making the microtransactions are just for customization, are just for aesthetics things like pets and animations. So that way the developers are still getting money, but the game is not getting broken.
Okay.
But then you get examples like, for example, GamerNet said it on the video that with a microtransaction you can buy all the weapons from Battlefield 4, and that is one bad microtransaction
Not Battlefield
system.
4, Battlefield 3.
Battlefield 3, all right.
They haven't
Thank you.
done it yet for Battlefield 4. I hope they don't ever do it.
Thank you for that correction. And well, we have another example, like with Robio new Angry Birds Go. They charge you $100 for a card. I mean,
Wow.
that is a lot of. I mean,
That's ridiculous.
You're really robbing people now.
The thing is, especially when you got these little kids, the parents are foolish enough to say, "Hey, here, use my phone. You can sit up here and play games on my phone." Next thing you know, the kids accidentally running up charges on their parents' account because they want to sit up here and keep getting all those little things in Candy Crush.
Yeah.
All those little power-ups. Come on now. Tell me you haven't heard those nightmares before. The people sat up there and let their kid get on their cell phone, play a game, and next thing you know, their bills run up.
But
Oh
well,
god.
that was my subject. I hope you guys have. I want to when I see the podcast, I want to see your opinion on that. And well, later.
Later, bro. Take it easy, all right?
All right.
Yeah, no problem.
But you know, he does have a valid point as far as how all these microtransactions are really getting out of control. You know what I'm saying? It seems like the days when you used to sit up here and play a game in order to unlock something has gone, you know, faded away in the past. Like, okay, somebody was bringing up something concerning PlayStation All-Stars versus Smash Bros. Where in Smash Bros. You have to sit up here and play a certain number of like bouts and etc. and whatever in order to have an opportunity to unlock said character versus, you know, paying for the DLC and having the character added.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me, that's a better way to do it. But then again, I like gaming, so I don't want to pay for it. I want to unlock it. I'd rather unlock
I
it.
have a huge issue with fighting games nowadays. Like, it's because of the whole DLC crap. You know?
Capcom.
Oh yeah.
That's why they broke now.
It's not even Capcom. It's also like Namco doing the same thing with Soul Calibur 5 and some of the others too. What I've heard.
You see, that's just it. They've got DLC as if it's this great evil, but really, according to what Kaiser said, it doesn't have to be evil. It doesn't have to be viewed as evil. Nothing is just evil straight out of the gate. It's the way some people choose to use it, utilize it, implement it. That's the problem. So
Yeah, I'm not saying, you know, DLC is evil. You know,
no,
I'm
of
welcome
course
it.
not. Yeah.
I'll tell you what's evil. This little guy right here, he's freaking evil. I'm telling you. He'll wake
Yes,
you
he
up
is
in the
evil.
middle of the night and say, I gotta go pee.
Yeah, all I can tell you, Nate, is if I go outside, see one of those things in the tree looking at me, I'm going back inside.
Oh Lord, I'm just
Man.
showing you something right now.
Husband, I agree.
Oh Lord.
All right, I have a question. This just kind of got brought up, or it popped into my head because y'all talking about microtransactions and like DLC and stuff. It doesn't really have to do with them, but what do you guys think about people who only play games purely for achievements? Like, are you really playing the game?
Chivo Hunters. Okay.
No, man, dude,
No.
I could.
I have a couple views on this. I mean, if you're playing it and you enjoy the game, playing the game, and you happen to just to unlock the achievements along the way, and that kind of excites you to play the game more, good. But if you're just playing it for the achievements, then you're nothing more than an attention whore.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, because I have that problem as well because people are like, well, don't y'all have achievements on Wii U? I'm like, dude, I don't care about that. I don't care about.
I
this
like them,
trophy
but I don't
popping
need
up.
them.
I don't care about the trophy.
Yeah.
I don't care about this achievement unlock. To me, it's just. Matter of fact, I played Deadpool when it came out, and the first three achievements in Deadpool is Deadpool making fun of achievements.
Oh,
That's bad when the game itself, when the game designers are making fun of achievements. And
Let me tell you
trophies.
guys a little something.
But
The thing is-
Deadpool always broke the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is that I had that affliction as well when I first got an Xbox 360 earlier on last generation. I used to actually sit down and actively wait until the game came out and go to, there's this site called TrueAchievements.com. I would go over there and say, okay, you know, I can get this achievement, and it actually became another wall. Aside from having to buy the game, having to know I needed the money to pay for the game, it actually became another deterrent if the achievements were some things that I wouldn't be able to get. I'd be like, okay, you know, I'm not buying this game, or I'm reluctant to buy this game because I know I won't be able to complete it. I'm guilty of that.
Because like, you guys remember what was it called? Tom Clancy's that Future Soldier game, or whichever one.
Ghost Recon Future Soldier.
Yeah, and one of the achievements was be ranked #1 on the leaderboards.
Oh
That was
yeah, I remember
redundant. That was a redundant achievement too.
You see, the thing is, I have some like OCD, man. I got it bad. Okay, so if I'm seeing something incomplete, it sends me up a wall.
Have fun with Xenoblade.
Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, the only games on my 360 that have 100% achievement completion is like Guitar Heroes and like Pac-Man and stuff.
I did Gunstar Heroes when I downloaded that again. And, I got Fist of the North Star. I did that 100%, and I think Sonic the Fighter is 100%.
Now,
I did Guardian Heroes 100%.
I 100%ed
That was by accident.
Back when I used to have the Xbox 360, I 100%ed Sonic Generations.
Seriously?
Yup. I 100%ed Sonic Generations.
I'm sorry, some of the stuff they want you to do in that game is annoying to me.
It is.
Definitely.
It
Let me tell you
is.
something.
It's a good game, but they just put some annoying stuff in there.
Well, dude, I'll put it this way. I brought up Xenoblade for a reason because it had a very goofy one. Remember Zero? What was that? Zero Velocity. I mean, Terminal Velocity. The Terminal Velocity cheating where you had to sit up here and drop from a ridiculous height.
Yep.
There was achievements like crazy. There were stuff that you sit up here had, on and on and on that you had to sit up here and unlock. It was a little bit,
You see, the difference is that with games that don't actually have the achievements as this separate system level thing, it doesn't bother me as much if I don't complete it. But if every time I start at my console and I see this little number glaring at me, then I go to that page and I see I'm missing this and that and the other, it sends me crazy, man. Furthermore, if I try a game out that I'm not too sure I'll like, now on the Xbox, you can actually, if you start a game, you don't like it, you don't unlock an achievement, you can delete the entry from your account, right? An empty achievement page, you can delete it. It doesn't add up to your totals, right? Or it doesn't affect your totals. But sometimes when I start a game and I don't like it, man, I hate those freaking games where they give you an achievement for sitting down through the opening cutscene. It's like, congratulations, you started the game. I'm like, oh god, why? Now if I don't like this thing and I stop playing it, I'm going to be 995 achievement points away from completion. It's just going to be there sitting at me, glaring at me. Oh man, it's a whole mental issue with me, man.
Okay, so in other words, you didn't like the ending of The Sopranos.
I don't think anybody liked the ending of Sopranos.
It's a huge mental issue with me, man. Huge.
Well,
of course, yeah.
That's how they get you. That's how they keep your attention into gaming nowadays. For those of us that have OCD, they'll sit up here and play the little, nitpick, get this, get that, get the whatever. And yeah. And by the way, can I ask you a question? Who's Darth Vader? Is anybody else here a Darth Vader on the mic?
Not me.
I am your father.
I am your father.
Okay, but hey guys, we're gonna sit up here and try to go for one more topic, then we're gonna wrap it up. All right? What do you guys think?
Yeah,
already past an hour, brother.
Oh yeah, past an hour.
That reminds me. Speaking of the whole achievement thing, I was about to talk about complaining about people complaining about their consoles not selling that well, and I would say that you shouldn't worry about it, just as long as if your favorite system has the games that you want to play, that'll be cool. But there's another topic that just recently came up. Now that you mentioned about Deadpool and the whole achievement thing, there's this I'm not sure if this relates, but that reminds me of the time when Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, what was it called? Mm-hmm. They made fun of the whole tutorials thing and the whole hand-holding thing. Now, but I'm gonna say this right now. My rant for this is that I'm kind of really sick and tired of people getting really pissed off for certain games that gives you, an easier alternative to beat a level.
Oh, you're talking about the golden cat. You're talking about like golden cat suits and stuff like that, huh?
Yeah, I love that golden cat suit on some of them levels. I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad that mug show up.
Wait, isn't that a Tanuki suit?
Tanuki, yeah.
Yeah, the golden like Tanuki suit. I'm glad that thing show up. There's a couple levels in there. I'm like, I was waiting for it to show up. I'm like, can this thing hurry up?
The reason,
me personally,
the reason I also brought this up because if you know Cinemassacre, right? The channel of the AVGN, right? Mm-hmm. Mike Matei, right? He did like a a little playthrough of Super Mario 3D World, right? And then soon after that, he made a rant video about the Golden Tanuki suit and how it sucks because the fact he's saying all this stuff like it sucks because it makes the game way too easy. You know, and he's like saying, back in my day, we didn't have all those tutorials and hand holding and all that stuff. You know, he was acting like cranky.
You know, I find it very funny that Cranky's picture is looking at me saying that right now.
The funny thing about that, if you're complaining about that Tanuki suit, that means you needed it.
Oh Lord!
Oh,
because
that,
you had to use it to get through the level.
You know what's ironic? Mike Matei, I'm sorry, no offense, but he sucked at the game.
Oh, I mean, that's all that is.
But that's generally how it goes, though, because anybody who, for the most part, streams gameplay, they are bad at the games they're playing.
Really bad.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something.
Especially if it's their first time cracking it open. Most time, there's very few people that can crack a game open, fresh out the plastic, put it in, and just master the game. I mean,
what if 1-on-1?
I was about to say, what if 1-on-1 forces you to?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something though. See, like after we left sprites and went into polygons, gamers got soft, man. They did. And they get softer every day.
From the days of Battletoads to the days of Angry
Contra
Birds.
3, Alien
Shakana
Wars.
Forever Man.
Contra 3, the Alien Wars.
Oh, I remember Shakana the Forever Man. I remember that Shakana the Forever Man.
That's God of War before God of War was made.
My man with the rocking that trench and that hat.
Even the casual games are hard. Like who can go back right now and play Kung Fu for the NES and get to the end of the game?
Oh,
I know I can right now.
I can't.
Right now.
Right now, I couldn't. I'd be lucky if I got to level 3.
Well, I mean, if y'all are looking for a modern game that has difficulty, you might want to pick up that Fire Emblem Awakening, play Lunatic Plus, or play like Shin Megami Tensei 4, or, you know what I'm saying?
Did you hear what one person said? Friends don't let friends play that on Lunatic.
No, I heard that, and I even told him, I was like, Lunatic is nothing compared to Lunatic Plus. Like, Lunatic Plus will destroy your life.
Oh Lord!
So you know who I'm talking about, right?
I know. I've been known who you're talking about.
Okay. So
I just had to predict because I laughed when he said that. I was like, damn, if he says that, it must be hard.
No, Lunatic Plus. Oh, I haven't raged at a game in recent memory. Like, wow, that game is ridiculous.
You know what's funny is the only game to ever make me rage and throw a controller and break it was Ninja Gaiden 1 on the NES.
That entire trilogy. Well, I don't know. You got a lot more power-ups in the second and third game.
Yeah,
but that first one was like...
made it a little easier.
I remember playing Ninja Gaiden Razor's Edge for the Wii U. There were times that I guess my so much. I got so pissed to break the gamepad.
I've only got one game to tell you guys. Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels.
Oh
yeah, Lost Levels with the poison mushrooms.
Yeah, poison mushrooms, and they're positioned in places where you jump, where they know you're going to jump to troll you.
Nintendo, the best trolls in the industry.
Oh yeah,
they proved it last night. But you know, like I said though,
proves they still don't get it.
Okay, guys. So basically, like I said though, I guess it's about time we wrap it all up and give our sign-offs. What do you guys think?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
All right, let's do this thing. We're gonna start over here with our boy, man, the myth, the legend, Chrono. Do your thing, man.
Well, I appreciate you guys tuning into the podcast, listening to me. My first time being here, and thank you, Quan, and the gang for actually inviting me on this. It was fun.
Welcome. Hope you come back again. All right, up next we got our boy Gilbert. What's up, Gilbert?
Alright, I have one thing to say before I say my goodbye.
Don't make it too long now. Don't make it too long.
Dude, Cranky is the perfect picture for him, man.
I was thinking about, buying Zelda or Fire Emblem. But no, I decided to think the Nintendo way and bought Donkey Kong Country for the 3DS.
That's that subliminal advertising.
Yeah.
All right.
They hooked you, man.
They got you. Up next, we got our boy Gamer878. Do your thing, man.
All right, guys. I'll see y'all on the next podcast. We'll make it even more fun next time, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace out.
All right. Up next, we got our boy Andre. Do your thing, Andre.
All right, everybody. Sorry for popping in late again. Next time I'll make sure I'm in early. But you know what? Keep your eyes and ears out for me. I'm always on YouTube, and I'll be in the comments or doing videos. So until next time y'all see me around, enjoy your games.
And now it's time to find out what his butter's worth. Go ahead, Jamie.
Oh, it's worth more than you can afford. That is my answer. But
Richie Rich Butter.
Yeah, exactly. Jamie Butterworth signing out. Go check out my YouTube channel, Butterworthy. New video up. I'm ignoring any other comments on this crap.
I think his butter is worth $100 billion.
I accept that price.
Platinum status.
All right, okay. And up next, we got Jay. Jay, do your thing. And I know who you want in Smash Brothers. I wonder if anybody else can guess.
Yeah, I wonder who can guess that. Another good podcast. Hope you guys have fun tonight. Please leave a comment. Rate, subscribe, like all the other good stuff. If you troll, we don't like you. No.
I like some of the trolls.
Depends on how they do it.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. See, y'all opening ourselves up again. See, we had this discussion last night. In all seriousness, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the show. Look forward to us next week. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Up next, we got Shadow Fox. Shadow Fox, do your thing.
Roll Ninja K9 Descent, Shadow Fox Prime, Shadow Fox Infinite, Shadow Fox everything, the real Shadow Fox. I would like for everybody to know that I am not lying to you. Content will be coming to the channel. I'm still working on it, and I've received a few challenges for live debates, so it looks like things will be a little bit interesting in the future.
Oh Lord!
Oh, he's not ready.
Hey,
He's not
Shadow
ready.
Fox, I don't think you're the real Shadow Fox. You're an imposter. Where's the real Shadow Fox?
I believe it. I definitely think that one challenge will not happen because I've already been blocked twice.
Oh Lord! Oh, so you're in that company.
I'm that person where, hey, this thing is accurate. Change your statement. Oh, no, it's not because of this. Okay, here's the link to this, and this. Here's the math on this, and this. Would you like to elaborate how you got it? Block. Block. End of conversation.
Okay, then. I pretty much I know that the block that bonds very well.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Quack Bond?
We're talking about somebody.
I actually started up a character at Guild Wars 2 called Quack Bond the Lame.
Oh God. I was going to make one called Attic Duck.
I actually thought we were talking about Gary O.
All right, up next we got the Zen Gamer. Zen Man, do your thing.
Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Didn't have too much to say this week, but hey, you know what? There'll be other days for that. But before I go, guys, one last thing to say: keep it gaming, and if you're gaming and not having fun, you are obviously doing it wrong. Find yourself a different hobby, and spare the rest of us all the nonsense. Okay? All right.
There you go. And as always, this is QMC, Quan Manchu, the Quan Man. Over here, get ready to sign out with all you guys. And like Zen said, keep it gaming, because if you sit up here and spend $60 and over here in order to rage, something's seriously wrong with you.
Bingo. Yep.
If you're sitting here paying a price of entry to rage at something, you got issues. And so, yep, as I always say, everybody, whatever's clever, we're out.